In this section, we're going to take a closer look at what are called WordPress blocks. Now, if I bring up a page, I'll bring up the About Us page. I didn't really draw your attention to it before, but if I just sort of mouse over here or over here, can you see these blue outlines? So here I've got the title of the page. If I click within that, I can adjust the title. If I click within here, I can edit this text here, and if I click here within this graphics block or image block, I can edit the image. Now, if I click, say, within here, notice over here you've got information that allows me to change things. So, for instance, let's say I wanted to add, say, a drop capital to the first character. I could do that, or not. I could click here to adjust the color scheme, so I could put a background color, but that color would only apply to this block. So as you can see, this outline here for this text block. So if I wanted a background color like say blue, I could do something like that, and then I could change the text color. Obviously you have to be really careful here, because as it says down here, this color combination might be hard to read, so it wasn't particularly clever. So I might click here and go back to white, or I could click here just to clear the information, or if I click here, I can have any color I want. But you've got to be very careful that the contrast is good between the background and the foreground color. So again, if I clear that and clear that, it goes back to the way it was. If I click here over the image, in fact, if I just mouse over the image, can you see it says image? So this is an image block. So this entire thing is an image block. And now if I click within the block here, you can see the block settings refer to this particular block, which is an image block. So obviously I can change the size of the image, and over here I can change the alignment and things like that. And if I scroll down, let's say if I click within here, then this obviously is a text block. So again, I can see various things here. So for instance, I could change the font size from huge, but of course that will only apply to this particular block. The other blocks remain the way they were. So if I click within here, change it from huge to small, or to large, or normal, or to large, I'll put it back to normal, and there we are. Let's try small, and that's small. If I click within here and go to the text settings, there's various other things we can do. Like we can manually just enter a number here for the text size. We can reset it to the way it was originally. As I say, you can put drop caps or not. You can adjust the color schemes. And down here, if you're familiar with CSS, which is cascading style sheets, it's beyond the scope of this course. But if you're familiar with CSS, you could add CSS formatting as well. But the important thing to notice is that whichever block you click within, over here you have information relating to formatting, or in some ways changing the attributes of that particular block. Same up here. Again, I could just go and edit this if I want to, or change it in some way. But it's important to realize that with the introduction of WordPress 5.0, which came out a while back now, the basic editor changed to this block editor. A lot of people don't like it, me included, but that's it. That's what WordPress decided to go with. The previous editor had been used for years, and I think we'd all got used to it basically. Certainly if you are an old hand at WordPress and you're coming back to look at WordPress and you haven't seen it for a while, it's going to look very different from the old versions, if you like. Now, if I want to, I can click, say, at the end of this block here, and I've got various controls up here. Various controls up there. The important one is I can add a block, so I can add a different type of block. So if you're talking text, it will just be a paragraph block. As we've seen, you can insert image blocks, you can insert heading blocks, but there's various other things you can do. So for instance, you can insert things like galleries and a cover image. You can insert an audio file if you want to, or just any file. So we've got these most used blocks up there, and if we come down here, you'll see there's lots of other blocks. So let's have a quick look at these. There's inline elements, there's common blocks here, which are the commonly used ones. We've got formatting, So for instance, you can insert something like a table or some custom HTML. If we come down here, you've got layout blocks. So you can have multiple columns, for instance, or you can insert a button. You can insert a page break. There's all sorts of things, maybe a spacer. If we come down here, you can insert widgets, more on widgets later. And then down here, you've got embeds. So for instance, you could embed, say, a YouTube video if you wanted to. But the important thing to realize is that for better or worse now, WordPress uses this block system. And as I say, you can see this is a paragraph block. It's defined by this blue box here. This one here is an image block. Move down here, we've got another paragraph block. But whatever you insert is now inserted into a block. Incidentally, you can of course move blocks up and down. So let's say I wanted this block above the picture of the ocean there. What I could do is just simply say move up, and that is now above that. If I want it back the way it was, I can move down and it's now underneath. So let's go down to the bottom of the document here, and let's insert a new block. Let's go for an image block, which will insert from the image library. So we'll insert that picture there. There we go. So quite clearly that is now at the bottom there. If I wanted to, I could click here and that would move it up. So that is now above that. If I wanted to move it back down again, like so. So that's really all there is to know about blocks. You know, you've just got to understand that every single item, be it a header or some text or an image or a gallery or whatever it happens to be, a table, columns, basically gets inserted into WordPress as a block.